Young Turks, everybody. Ben Mankiewicz. JR just told me that Cenk talked about Larry Flint's offer to Anthony Weiner on yesterday's show, so I had just a couple of bits of information. Larry Flint has said the genuine offer to Anthony Weiner that he would come aboard out here to Beverly Hills and work for Flint Management, which is there at the corner of La Cienega and Wilshire. Is that right? Is that where it is? Yeah, La Cienega and Wilshire. What would he have him do? I don't know. Who cares? Work for him. And that he would give him a 20% pay raise to show the sincerity of the offer, a 20% pay raise over his current congressional salary. So I went there to look up what the congressional salary was. It's $174,000. That's what members of Congress make. So 20% more would be $34,800. So that'd be $208,800 to come out here and work for Larry Flint. It's not that much money out here in Beverly Hills, but it's not bad. It's good. It's about what JR and Jesus make. But then I started looking at this thing that tells you about what congressional salaries have been over the years. And for the first time in 1925, it hit 10 grand. 1925, members of Congress made $10,000. They make $174,000 now. Then it got lowered to $9,000 in 1932, and then $8,500 in 1933, middle of the Depression. But to go from $10,000 to $8,500, that's a tough blow for these guys. I mean, that's like a 15% pay cut. Like you go from 10,000 to 8,500, you're hurting. And then it didn't go back up to 12,500 until 1947. But the average American was only earning $1,000 a year in 1947. $1,000 a year. That sucks. Jesus. 20th Century drew to a close annual salary for the majority of members of Congress. You can get more stuff if you're, the House Majority Leader or the Minority Leader. Senate gets a little more. Went to 136,000. No, senators, by the way, don't get more. They get the same. Annual salary for regular House members, for members of the House and Senate, went to 136,700, and then they've been getting sort of annual raises since then. 141,300 in January of 2000. So since then, in the last 10 years, they've gone from 141.3 to 174. So they've gotten a $33,000 raise over the last 10 years, 3,000 out of 14. So they've gotten a 23% raise over the last 11 years. Is that a lot? Maybe that's not that much. 23% over 11 years? That's not that much, right? No, I'm letting them off the hook. That's not that bad. But $174,400 if you're Anthony Weiner and you live in New York, so you got to have a New York office, and he's got offices, I think he has Queens, but he's got some of Manhattan, I think, or maybe it's just some of Brooklyn. But he's got offices there, and he's got to live in Washington too, and his wife works for the State Department. I mean, she got a pretty good job. She can't make more than that. She probably makes less. They're doing okay, but they got a baby coming, and they got houses in New York and D.C., and it's not like they can pad the expense account because they're in Congress and the State Department. I know, I'm about to be an ass. It's not that much money. It's just not. And then when you factor in how much money they could make if they went into the private sector, they'd be millionaires. So I got it. Anthony Weiner had to resign. They're about to get a lot richer. That kid's about to go to private school. Well, the kid's about to have divorced parents. But anyway. All right, so I want to talk a little about Anthony Weiner, because this is what amuses me. So yesterday we all saw it. He resigned, okay? It was all coming. Let's get this one thing out of the way. I want to play Sarah Palin's joke, because she's hilarious. Sarah Palin's on with Judge Napolitano. God, this guy is A, not talented, B, not funny, C, dangerous. So here's Sarah Palin's sage comments on Anthony Weiner, and she set this up like she thought about it. I can't tell whether Sarah Palin thought of this or somebody else gave her the line. Tell me what you think.
Well, yes, they are entitled to having someone like Anthony Weiner represent them if truly that is what they want. But I have faith in the people there in Queens and elsewhere in New York that they deserve better, and I think that they will receive better. Anthony Weiner, from henceforth, after his personal indiscretions were disclosed, he was going to be rendered impotent, basically, there in Congress, and he wasn't going to be able to be effective. So,
Well, she can't even deliver from henceforth. Whatever. Anyway, she couldn't wait. She was excited about it. Now, so Anthony Weiner had these 6 women. We, I guess, know 5 of their names. Maybe we know them all. I don't care. So one of them is this woman, Tracy Noble. She's either 34 or 35, depending on where you read it. She's a cheerleading coach for a Christian organization in Georgia. She also teaches Pilates for Christians. I don't dislike this woman. I rather like her. She was on the Today Show with Ann Curry, and so what I like, among the things I like about her, is that she points out very much so that she's one of the few people who at least makes it clear that she doesn't perceive herself as a victim. So give me clip 8 here. Here's Tracy Nobles on the Today Show.
I'm not a victim, or I'm of age. I just turned 35.
You're 35 years
right.
old. You're a grown woman. You're a physical education teacher.
Right.
You work with elementary and middle school kids, and you would say things to him online that were very intimate, very sexual.
Yeah, and so, but it happened. It is what it is. I know.
What do you mean it is what it is? Why did you do it?
Just the time in my life, I was flattered, and it was more than just sexual. There was a lot. We exchanged music or just talked about life in general. So it wasn't really personal as far as going into personal lives or that kind of thing.
Or that kind of thing. Or that type of thing. You saw her 2 lawyers there, and that's interesting because I want to get to that. This woman makes no apologies at any time. I like that she says she's not a victim. She was of age. And then Ann Curry hits her up about, what about Huma? What about the wife? Because Ann Curry, they want to get you, and they want to get you to apologize. And Tracy Nobles she won't do it. And I like that about Tracy Nobles. I'm not saying because Tracy Nobles, she doesn't acknowledge anything. I admire this, and I don't want to seem like an ass. It's too late. But here you go. Here's Ann Curry asking Tracy Nobles about the wife.
What would you say to his wife this morning?
I don't even like to think about that, really, because at the time I didn't think about his wife. I'm just being honest, it was something we both engaged in. I was flattered that he friended me. I followed his politics. And if everybody's dirty laundry was aired out, everybody would have a lot of embarrassment.
Are you embarrassed?
Well, like I said, it is what it is. I know that's very general, but there's nothing I can do about it at this point.
Do you regret it?
I don't regret it.
You don't regret it?
I don't regret it.
I did it. She goes on to say, I don't regret things. I did it. What are you going to do? And part of me wants to go, she's like, there's the part of the piece that NBC did there, the Today Show, just people acknowledge it. They're like that the electronic age has created sexting and this online form of cheating, and it enables men or women to think that they're not involved in extramarital affairs when it is. But it isn't. And I think we should at least say that. It's a thing that you could consider some form of deception, but it's not the same. If I came home and my wife were having sex with the pool boy, I would feel differently than if I came home and my wife had sent a dirty text to the pool boy. I would feel very differently. So why do we have to pretend like they're the same thing? That said, if she were carrying on with 9 different pool boys in text relay, I'd have a problem. Not defending Anthony Weiner, but I like Tracy Nobles. Don't you sort of? I saw Jesus out there. You're like, God bless her for just not. She's like, enough with the saying it is what it is. I think we got to improve on that. She says it like 3 times, but I like that. Okay, so anyway, but you saw those 2 lawyers, and that's really what I wanted to talk about, because I'm like, why are those 2 lawyers there? What does she need those 2 lawyers to? And Ann Curry, God bless her, asks her about those 2 lawyers.
You have 2 attorneys here with you today. They've come, they've traveled here with you.
Right.
Why do you have 2 attorneys? What's the worry? What's the concern?
No worry. We're just here, and to support her, to make sure that everything's taken care of, and that she gets to present her side of the story, gets to tell the world what happened.
She's got an opportunity to, just as you put it, and to set the record straight. So it's a great opportunity, and and she's taking advantage of that.
You needed 2 guys for that. One guy couldn't have handled that answer. What is she paying these guys? I hope she knows them from her Christian gym. I mean, what? You know, she said capitalize on that, take advantage of that. I don't know. Take advantage of that. And of course, as soon as the second guy, the guy who needs the hairpiece, says that she's there to take advantage of that, then you're like, oh no, here we go.
That's because she doesn't know what she has 2 attorneys for. They probably approached her and said, oh, this is the lady? And then so as soon as Ann Curry asked her, she went, I don't know, why are you guys here?
Well, that gets worse with the Ginger Lee and Gloria Allred. But then Ann Curry comes back and asks Tracy a question, and she says, I'm not looking to capitalize. And of course, given her answers, she doesn't appear to be prepared to offer anything from which she could capitalize. She's like, yeah, I don't regret it. I don't really care. I'm a grown-up. Like, what's her tell-all going to be? You know, like there's no great little piece of terrific information. So anyway, so Ann Curry goes back to her and asks her about the lawyers and if she's going to take advantage of it, and Tracy Nobles indicates that she is.
I mean, I'm a good person. I don't think I'm a bad person at all. Like, it's 2 adults, you know, both
But one
consenting.
was married.
Right.
One
yes.
was married. You're not married. He was married.
Right. I understand that. And that's, but you know, I don't know what to really say about that other than I'm not trying to capitalize off of it in any way.
She doesn't care. She does not care. And she was married, Ann Curry says. She was married. And Tracy's like, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. I give a shit. I mean, that's just, you don't get that a lot in this day and age. You know?
Because it's real, dude. I
Right.
mean, it's wrong as far as like, do you feel bad about what happened to their relationship and that you were an intricate part of it? But it's not like you took a vow to their marriage.
Right.
You're wrong. It's messed up, but
right. Your beef is with, you want to say to Ann Curry, hey man, the beef is with Anthony Weiner, not me. I didn't meet him. I had phone sex with him. I had Skype sex with him. Play that last clip one more time because first of all, she's so sweet. I lived in the South for 5 years. This girl is legitimately sweet. She is. And she probably wouldn't do it again now, you know, because it's embarrassing. But I just love this last line. I just love her like, yeah, I know, but I don't care.
I mean, I'm a good person. I don't think I'm a bad person at all. Like, it's 2 adults, you know, both
But one
consenting.
was married.
Right.
One
yes.
was married. You're not married. He was married.
Right. I understand that. And that's, but you know, I don't know what to really say about that other than I'm not trying to capitalize off of it in any way.
She's too polite to say she doesn't care. You know? If we still, like, I can't do it, but I'm going to. If we still gave out Turk of the Week, I would think I would vote for Tracy Nobles. Not for her behavior, but for her honesty, for her candor. It's just rare and it's refreshing. Tracy Nobles gets a kind of a thumb up. Who doesn't is Ginger Lee. Ginger Lee is this stripper, former porn star who was involved in the sexting with Anthony Weiner, although she now claims that there was no sexting at all with Anthony Weiner, even though when the tweet went out, the first one that exposed him, which may have been intended for Ginger Lee, but instead went to that 21-year-old student whose name starts the same way. I don't know. I don't care. But she was like, wow, got a little me some Anthony Weiner in the morning. I likey, something like that. I just said likey.
if she said that, that should have been the end of it.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, right. She was like, I got me some wiener in the morning, likey. I swear to God, it was something like that. That's what she posted after his thing went out to everybody. So anyway, so anyway, just to give a little background. So I don't understand why she had the press conference in general, but I guess as I read more about her, I got a little sympathy for her because apparently people put it together that, oh my God, she's one of his followers. She said the likey thing. And then I guess people gathered around starting paying her a lot of attention. So I understand that maybe she couldn't work in her industry, which is stripping. And you know what? I'm not going to be one of the people to that's her job. Like, we got that. She's a stripper. She got to make money. She got to earn. Mama's got to earn. And so it was tough, and she tried to be quiet. Anyway, so she goes out and says that he asked her to lie, even though it doesn't quite sound like he asked her to lie. He did ask her not to tell the truth and tell only part of the truth, which was that they never met. So here's a quick from Ginger's press conference a couple of days ago. I'm sure you've heard it, but this is what she said, a little summation of what Ginger said.
Many people have asked me what my feelings are today about Representative Weiner. I think that Anthony Weiner should resign because he lied to the public and to the press for more than a week. It might have never turned into this if he'd told the truth, but he kept lying. If he lied about this, I can't have much faith in him about anything else.
This goes back. This is what you lie about, man. No, this is exactly the kind of thing you lie about. So, but who cares whether she thinks he should resign? You got your wish. He resigned. Initially, she said she didn't want to be the one to throw him under the bus, but then in the end, she threw him under the bus. But I got it. She apparently has lupus. She had a lupus flare-up. It was stressful. I got it. She was not in it. She was a victim in this. I'm with her. But she's there with old friend Gloria Allred. And so why you have to hire Gloria Allred and have a press conference, I'm not gonna. I tell you what, I have this venom toward Gloria Allred, but I'm gonna temper it for this segment, and I'm just gonna play some clips, and I'm gonna ask people to tell me what's the argument for hiring Gloria Allred? What's the argument for having this press conference? Why do you need Gloria Allred? Why does Tracy Nobles need those guys? Although Tracy Nobles has no story to sell now, I think she's literally made her story largely irrelevant. Tracy Nobles, by the way, in her piece said, my business is still letting me work. Gloria Allred is already setting it up. Ginger Lee lost money, she said. She lost income. She couldn't take jobs. And now she's coming forward because she needs to go back to work. She's setting herself up for money, a payday. Tracy Nobles, our Turk of the Week, has not done that. So what's the argument other than looking for cash, looking for a payday? What's the legitimate? Because Gloria Allred would never get up there and say, Ginger Lee hired me because she's looking for a payday. Gloria Allred always makes an argument that, no, this is some form of injustice, like with the Tiger Woods mistresses. What wrong was committed to the Tiger Woods mistresses? It's a seedy, ugly affair, and Tiger Woods is a douchebag, as is Anthony Weiner. But what wrong was committed to these grown-ups? That's what I want to know. These are grown-ups involved in consensual relationships. So I want to know what the wrong is. So anyway, so we'll just play Gloria Allred, and I'm asking you to let me know what I'm missing. So here's Gloria Allred when she introduces, now let this play out a little bit. When Gloria Allred introduces Ginger Lee, she's done her little talking, and she introduces Ginger, and you can see how warm their relationship is. They're very, very close.
And now I present Ginger Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and wait 1 second, okay?
Okay.
When I started interacting
just
with
wait
Anthony
right there.
Weiner,
Oh, it's beautiful. They're such good friends.
and once the electronic communication began,
All right, so anyway, there you go. That's Gloria Allred. Everything's staged. Everything's orchestrated. Oh, God. All right, so loathsome. But I'm not going to say it's loathsome. Okay, so the third clip from these guys is this notion now that so they have then you heard Ginger Lee get up, and that's where she ultimately described what had happened, and she said that Anthony Weiner asked her to lie at first by saying that they'd never met, which is true, but he did ask her not to tell the whole story about the pictures sent back and forth. But there's some interesting things here. So then Gloria gets up, and then once it's over, Gloria gets up and she announces, then after Ginger has spoken, Gloria says, okay, now is the part where I'm on camera and I'm going to tell you how this is going to be.
So the only emails that I will talk about today are the ones that support what we said about his package. Okay, so here are some of the statements that she received about that. I have wardrobe demands too. I need to highlight my package.
why does that need to happen? Just tell me what wrong has happened to Ginger Lee that requires hiring Gloria Allred that needs to happen. Just let me know. Or that this next thing needs to happen.
All right, and this is a different one. All right, my package and I are not going to beg. We both see the hazard of going down the path of comparative sexiness. At least with you, the intrusion ends after a few gawks. I get dragged into long commentary sessions at the corner bodega.
I like that because it starts with my package and I aren't going to beg and ends with bodega. I didn't think you could get there in 22 seconds, but Anthony Weiner did. My package and I aren't going to beg. I'm going down to get a soda at the bodega. So why do you need Gloria Allred to read that? What wrong has happened to Ginger Lee that requires Gloria Allred to read that? Now, one enterprising reporter had read Ginger Lee's blogs. And Ginger Lee is unquestionably a victim here, but had read Ginger Lee's blogs, and it led to this question. Now, in case you can't hear, we didn't put a graphic on this, right? So I'll just tell you what the question is. The question that you'll hear asked here is, did Ginger Lee not say that she wanted to have sexual relations with Anthony Weiner? That doesn't in any way, Anthony Weiner's the bad guy here, but she apparently did write that on her blog. It's a fun thing. Her blog is open. She gets to write about that. That doesn't excuse Anthony Weiner's behavior. But she did write that, and a reporter asked this question, and it caused to obviously see what Gloria Allred might be. I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, did she not say that she wanted to have sexual relations with Anthony Weiner?
Just a moment, please. Okay, stop. Okay, what? Okay, wait. She never said that to Congressman Weiner. I haven't read all of her blogs.
What wrong happened to her that causes that moment where you need Gloria Allred? I don't understand why anyone would hire Gloria Allred. I don't understand it. I just don't get it, man. I don't get what this Ginger Lee's a grown-up, and having the media gather around her is wrong, and she's a victim in this. But come on, man. You know what? Tracy Nobles should give up one of her charming lawyers to Ginger Lee, and they could handle her case too. All right. When we come back, Tim Pawlenty runs away from Mitt Romney. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
7 a.m. waking up in the morning, gotta be fresh, gotta go downstairs, gotta have my bowl, gotta have cereal, seeing everything, the time is going, ticking on and on, everybody's rushing, gotta get down to the bus stop, gotta catch my bus, I see my friends kicking in the front seat, sitting in
Welcome
the back
to
seat.
TYT.
We're talking over which seat she's gonna take. Like, I literally can't believe that became a line. Like, even given the total moronic nature of the song, that she has a line about
Which seat should I
front
take?
seat, back seat, pause, sing a little. Which seat will I take? Like that one's the one where I'm like, oh, yeah.
No, the worst part is when she explains like the order of the days.
But
that's the worst part.
But that's so stupid that it's a little funny. Like, I got it. That's dumb. Like, I could even see that being like a guy who writes a pop song writing that, because that's like catchy and people will sing on. But like, really, like, front seat, back seat, which seat will I take? For some reason, that's like, holy Jesus, because it's like you don't even know that that's funny.
I know. It's definitely one of the dumbest lines
It's tough for
in
me to
any
get.
song ever written. But interesting update on the Rebecca Black video. It has been pulled off of YouTube.
No.
And I think this is very clever. They pulled it off of YouTube, but it's now available through YouTube rentals. So in order to view that video, listen to it, you have to buy it through YouTube.
Really? What does it cost, 99 cents?
I believe it was $1.99, but I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. All I know is that you will have to pay for it. And it's genius. I mean, she made a ton of money off the millions of hits she received. I mean, you get paid off the advertisements on the video, right? And then, you know, as soon as people start to forget about it, all of a sudden she gets a little media attention about the fact that it's been pulled off of YouTube for free, and now it's available via YouTube rentals. So very clever way to make money. I mean, people hate her, but I think she's amusing.
She's got to have a follow-up. Like, I wonder what that's going to be.
I don't know, but she should. She should definitely release another song.
She should release some lunch.
Another,
breakfast, lunch, dinner.
I heard a little bit of more of the details of that. There's a group that has some rights over it and everything, and they're kind of screwing her over. But the thing is they want to get some more power back, so that's one of the other reasons it got pulled. And the guy, the black dude that's rapping in the middle, he's part of that group that has control over it.
Ugh, drums.
At least that's what I heard. I mean, that's according to, I think, like Yahoo or something. I heard that on like their rundown of everything that's happening.
Right. It's an amazing story. It's incredible how much money you can make from being. She wasn't being stupid. That's not what I'm trying to say. But through stupid song lyrics.
She's been a creative kid, and then she found out what the music business was really all about.
Right. That's true.
Immediately.
That's true.
13, by the way. I think we were trying to figure her age before.
It's been established. She's 13 years old.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
God, it's terrible that people were that nasty to her when she was only 13.
I mean, death threats. It just shows you how ridiculous people are. You're really going to threaten a 13-year-old and say that you're going to kill her? I mean...
Right, because you think her song was simplistic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because people they have suppressed anger, they're jealous. You know, that's why people hate Justin Bieber. I don't particularly like his music, but people have like this crazy hate for him. Like they want to strangle him and watch him die.
You know, Justin Bieber is such a powerful figure in American pop culture life that yesterday I was with a friend of mine who I hadn't seen in a long time, who has the exact same birthday as me. Like that's we've been, and so we were hanging out and we were looking up on our phones who else has the exact same birthday, because she said that I didn't know Sarah Jessica Parker has my birthday. I was very excited. And she didn't know that Elton John had our birthday. And so we then went to look up other people, and we saw that Justin Bieber does. And I was like, oh, Justin Bieber. Like I got totally excited, right? And then it turned out, oh, no, he doesn't. We were misreading it.
Oh.
And I was crestfallen.
Oh, unbearable.
That's how, but you know, so it's YouTube and coming up with a clever song. YouTube, a great way to make money. It's not as good a way to make money as just becoming a preacher and telling people to give you money.
Yes, and that's our next story. I actually love this story. It amazes me. So Bishop Eddie Long was facing some serious accusations last year. 4 parishioners had come to the police and said that he had coerced them into having gay sex. So it became this huge scandal, and we haven't heard much about what happened afterwards, but it turns out that Bishop Eddie Long recently settled that case for $25 million.
So he had $25 million.
Which is incredible. And also, when you settle out of court like that, it just, in my opinion, it's maybe not evidence, but it's an indication that there's some guilt. Because if you're innocent, then you go through the court proceedings and they find that you're innocent and you move along.
Michael Jackson, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So now the reason why this story comes up today is because Bishop Eddie Long was recently giving a sermon.
Isn't it weird that you feel like you have to say Bishop Eddie Long each time?
Yeah, because what am I going to say? Long? Because Long was giving, I
No,
guess.
but like you could go with Eddie Long, Bishop Long, but you feel like it's, no, but I agree with you. It's like, it's Bishop Eddie Long.
It is. It's like his full name. It's one word. It's not even.
It's Bishop Eddie Long.
Bishop Eddie Long. So, you know, while he was preaching to his church members, something interesting happened. We have video of it, so let's watch.
People, please, because it's, I honestly, I'm talking a whole lot. I got one thing to say. So what I need, Manifest. Look at baby girl. Somebody ought to shine. Signs, wonders, and miracles. Hallelujah. I couldn't pay for that. That's just not. Tell somebody that's just first fruit. That's just the first fruit. That's just the first fruit. I see everybody bringing that to the altar. I see everybody moving like that. Touch your neighbor and say, that might be her day today, but my day coming, my day coming, my day coming, my day coming. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Oh, come on and celebrate life. Celebrate God.
His day is coming. Quick, fast, quick, fast. What does that mean? Like, people are getting so riled up by that. Like, oh, yeah, her day came, but my day's coming. Woo!
My day is coming, quick, fast, in a hurry. I think it's what he said to those 4 guys.
Nasty.
That's a sickening video.
It is. You know, JR is the one who found that video, and when he originally showed it to me, he said, you know, I bet that's all the money that woman has. That massive wad of cash is her money. She's giving it to this man who just recently settled out of court for $25 million with 4 boys, or not 4 boys, 4 men that alleged that he had gay sex with them.
Coerced them into having gay sex. It just, and forget that part. I mean, well, you know, don't forget that part, because whether consensual or not, he's got $25 million.
Right.
And I bet there's a good chance she's a plant. That's what struck me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that he has arranged for her to come up with that cash. Either way, whether that's a legitimate gift, a legitimate offering, is horrible. Whether it's a plant, it's almost more horrible, right? But either way, the zeal of reaction from everybody else means it works no matter what. And they're like, I can't wait to give my money away. This guy is a fraud. What kind of car does he drive? You know, like, this is a guy who gets characterized in movies. I mean, that's that's Jim Baker, man. That's Jimmy Swaggart. These guys, he's stealing from these people.
And that's what it does. I didn't think it was a plan. Somebody would do something like that, first of all.
Yeah, he would never do that.
No,
Bishop Eddie Long would never do that.
I wouldn't put it past him for it to be a plant, but it's like you don't even need to plant it, because there's people that are that stupid because of things he said immediately after. As you can see, 5, 6 more people ran up there and threw whatever money was probably in their pocket up there, because it leads to the rest of them going. And as he said, this is her day. Tomorrow could be yours. In other words, hurry up and give me your money so that you can get a bigger reward in return. So they're thinking they're investing into something even better for themselves. So like, she gave her $8,000, $10,000, whatever that was. Yeah. I'm guessing from the size of the wad. Who knows what kind of bills those were? But she gives this much money. So if I go up and give my $150, I'll get something back in return too. And it's immediately what he goes to saying.
Maybe he'll have sex with my husband if I give $12,000. I bet it was. I bet he put her up to it. Just because I think it's genius.
You're not the only person who's, you know, making those types of speculations. There are other reporters that have written about this, and they're saying that had to have been a plant, right? There's no evidence of it, but people are suspecting that it was. But, you know, I actually agree with JR. I think that, you know, it's very likely that somebody from his church would do that, because it's a system of brainwashing. You know, he's brainwashed these churchgoers into thinking that they have to pay in order to find that pathway to heaven.
Oh. Look, the brainwashing argument works whether it's a plant or not, because if it's a plant, part of the brainwashing is getting them to do it by getting to make it seen. It was just so public that it, like, I mean, clearly, whether it's going to work no matter what. I mean, if it was a plant, it's going to get followed. If it wasn't a plant, it's going to get followed. Either way, it's going to work. They're cheering. Other people are going to come rushing up and give money. It doesn't really matter. This is a fun conversation to have. Either way, he's going to get tens of thousands of dollars. He's going to get more next week.
I'm willing to bet all the rest of her money that wasn't a plan. I don't think it was. I think there's close to 0% chance that was a plant. Not because I'm not putting that past him that he's not that dirty of a guy. You don't need to.
Right,
It's
well,
fucking stupid.
Right, but at some point he's done that. They all have. It just occurred. I just mean as soon as I saw that, it occurred to me that that's a thing that these guys do.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that was it or other times, they give money to someone and say, bring this money up to me. Be the guy who offers $6,000, and then I'll be like, oh my God, and that'll get then the pressure. As soon as somebody gives $8,000 in cash, all of a sudden the pressure is, well, I was going to give $200, now I'm going to give $1,000.
Right.
It's a thing. It's a thing. It's genius.
It's disgusting. Yeah,
It's
but
disgusting.
it is genius. By the way, I think this story is so appropriate for today because look at this guy who's been accused of doing something so dirty and disgusting, right? And at the same time,
like manipulating his members, right?
By not only manipulating his members to give him thousands of dollars, but also what he's been accused of doing with the 4 men. You know, coercing them into having sex.
That's what I meant. Sort of manipulating these
Right.
guys and pretending to be like. Doesn't he speak out against gays?
He does speak out against
right.
gays. So this guy is getting paid, okay?
Right.
He's getting paid thousands of dollars. At the same time, we have Anthony Weiner sending his penis pictures, busting a nut, and then we, take him out of office.
Right. Totally.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and he's making $174,000 a year, Anthony Weiner.
Poor Weiner.
Now, what's he gonna do with that little 7, 8? Like I said, I keep throwing that number, several $1,000s that she gave him when he just gave up $25 million. It's gonna help you in that little dent you got, the $25 million you gave away to stay out of whatever consequences he would have faced normally.
That's how you build it back up. It's going to take him literally months to make that $25 million back up.
Poor guy.
Bishop Eddie Long.
All right. The UN has officially condemned discrimination against gays, lesbians, bisexuals, and transgender individuals. And, it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting resolution that they came up with because, of course, there are several countries that are against it. For instance, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, and Pakistan are against this resolution.
Yeah, we talked about this in our hour, which I just told you about. But I think it's a great point that when Russia, Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, and Pakistan are against it, you know it's good.
I know,
Yeah.
I know, exactly. So I think this is a great thing. It kind of sends a message that, look, homosexuality is not some abnormal thing. It's a natural thing. These people are born
So why are you
gay.
getting on Bishop Eddie Long then?
Well, there's a difference between coercing people into having sex.
I guess. You say so.
So now again, there's this. We have different issues, of course, in America. You're talking about Pakistan and with Russia and what other countries, Saudi Arabia, were against this.
Right.
Where does America stand on it? Because
America is in favor of the resolution.
but then with our own laws, we're not all the way there.
I agree with you.
Where are we on the scale? We say one thing when it comes to the rest of the world, but within our own country, where are we?
Look, I don't know where each country stands. My hunch is the European Union, and most of the European Union is probably
In favor of it.
ahead of us. But
Right.
not all of it, by the way. I mean, we're in pretty good shape on many of these issues. And we're headed in the right direction. And we have an administration that Lieutenant Dan Choi aside, and the fact that there's some disenchantment on the left of the extent to which the Obama administration has championed equality in marriage, and that's a legitimate gripe. They're on the right side on it. They have, pulled back the defending the Defense of Marriage Act. It's pretty clear to me where they stand. They are not out pounding the thing and saying we are for equality in marriage, and that's what's irritating people, and I understand that, but they're on the right side.
They are on the right side. I think it's a slow and steady process, and it's especially going to be slow with the Obama administration because you still have to keep in mind that he's doing whatever he can to, appease the Republican base and find ways to be on their favorable side. So I think that's part of the thing that's held us back. But the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, I think that was a huge accomplishment by the Obama administration. And whether anti-gay people want to believe it or not, pretty soon in the future, we're going to legalize gay marriage in all states. There's no way of holding that back.
Yeah, I don't know about pretty soon, and I don't know about all states. Eventually, I think you're right, but that eventually is going to be a while. And I wish the Obama administration were more active in the support. But they, as you alluded to, there's a template under which these guys operate that you don't tie yourself to a social issue that's that intrinsically seen as a part of a significantly progressive agenda that they think would damage them in the electoral process. I mean, that's all it is. If they stamp their foot about equality in marriage, they think that's an electoral loser. And that's why they're not doing it, and that irritates sort of many people in the transgender gay and lesbian community, and that's a fight that they're going to have. I doubt that that's going to cause some serious electoral pains for the Obama administration in 2012. I'd be surprised.
All right. Brad Pitt has been arrested in Mexico. The head of the Juarez cartel in Mexico has been arrested. He is also known as El Brad Pitt. I love this story just because of that. I mean, of course, the cartel's dangerous, violent. They're killing thousands of people in Mexico as we speak. But El Brad Pitt, really?
He's called El Brad Pitt because he has adopted a number of African babies.
No, he hasn't.
Oh, I got that wrong. I read that wrong. No, the great thing is that he's called El Brad Pitt because he looks like Brad Pitt. That's what they say. That's him.
No, they don't say that. The reason why they call him El Brad Pitt is because, first of all, he's a corrupt police officer. He used to be a police officer, and then he crossed over to the dark side.
No, they actually say he looked like Brad Pitt. Sort of.
Sort of. They're definitely...
They say he looked like Pitt in a scene from Spy Game. But look at the guy. I don't care what movie it is.
He was wearing a disguise that made him look like...
I got you. Let's not complicate it. They call him El Brad Pitt because they say he looked like Brad Pitt. Come on. The guy behind him in the ski mask looks more like Brad Pitt.
You make a good point.
JR looks more like Brad Pitt. El Brad Pitt. Yeah, I got it. He was in the disguise. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank God Brad Pitt's behind bars.
All right, guys, we got to take a break. When we come back, has activism in San Francisco gone too far? I'll explain when we come back.